U.S. and Soviet relations before World War II were based off the political tensions of communism and democracy. Many wars were based off these tensions. During the Cold War, proxy wars were very common. A proxy war is when opposing powers use third parties as substitutes for fighting each other. Just before the Cold War, the nuke was made in 1945. The reason for the name of the Cold War was because they never actually fired any of their nukes, so they left their weapons cold. The Cold War began as a result of political tensions between communism and democracy, as they could not cooperate with each other's policies. Another reason is that the Soviets wanted to take over most of Eastern Europe countries. This would give them more resources and a stronger foothold in Europe, which did not sit well with the US. During the Cold War, there was an arms race to create the best nuclear weapons. An arms race is a rapid, competitive increase in the quantity or quality of instruments or military or naval power by rival states in peacetime. On August 29, 1949, the Soviet Union successfully tested the first atomic bomb. In 1952, the US detonated the first hydrogen bomb. The Soviets exploded their first hydrogen bomb in 1953. Both countries refused to attack the other because after the first attack, the first retaliation would destroy the other country. The arms race between the US and the Soviet Union did not fit an action-reaction model very well. The US was slow to rearm in the late 1940s. During the Korean War, USA stepped up their nuke game. The Soviet Union did not respond much to the increase in nuclear and conventional arms. In the mid-1960s, Soviets undertook the most massive peacetime military buildup in history. The U.S. chose to somewhat descend from the race. After 1979, the Americans picked up their posture in arms production. Americans' new inventions made Soviet leaders nervous, and in mid-1980s, Mikhail Gorbachev promoted raising the technology level of Soviet society. By the end of the Cold War, the countries reduced arms through the SALT and SALT II, or the Strategic Arms Limitation Talks Agreements. These agreements limited production of strategic missiles for the United States and Soviet Union. The enemy of the enemy is my friend. That saying sums up their relationship between the Soviet Union and the U.S. during World War II.